We've come back to the Calgary Zoo to test out the 1-400. Not this one, this one. So this is the latest 1-400 from Sony. That makes 3 different 1-400s that you can purchase. So where does this one fit in? I mean, we just recently did the review on the fantastic 1-400 4.5 G Master series lens. We came here to the zoo to do it because it was a very convenient place to shoot some animals and really put that lens through its paces. So I was really surprised when a month later, we have another 1-400 from Sony, but this one is a 5.6 to f8. Now, it's not a G series lens, it's not a GM series lens, it's just a Sony FE 1-400. Now, with so many options from Sony for the 1-400 range, where does this lens fit in? Well, let's get into it. First off, let's take a look at the lens itself. I mean, it is really lightweight, 643 grams or about 23 ounces, so not very heavy at all. Really quite nice like that. And once you take off the included lens hood, it is really quite small. I mean, I think we're just looking at about 8 inches here. So, really small, lightweight lens, and as you'd expect from Sony, you know, very typical rings. We have the big zoom ring to work with here, the focus by wire switch here, custom function button here, autofocus on and off, of course, with a limit switch, as well as the optical stabilization on and off. We also have a locking switch here, so we can lock it at 100 so it doesn't actually fall out when we're walking around with it. So overall, the lens does have some dust and weather resistances though, although it's not nearly to the same level that you're going to get with a G Master series lens. So this, as far as a walk around 1-400 millimeter lens, is very small, very lightweight, and very easy to work with. Now, despite its small size, especially for a 1-400, they've packed a lot of technology into this lens. I mean, we do have 2 linear autofocus motors here, which is going to drive this, and we can keep up with these very fast frame rates like we have with the A1 Mark II here. So I don't have to worry about it keeping up if I'm tracking some sports in action. It is able to do that, which is really impressive. Now, when it comes to the optics of this lens, we do have 15 different elements in 10 different groups. We have 2 ED elements and 2 aspherical elements, all giving us some really good performance. Now, we're going to talk about image quality in a little bit here, but what I'm finding when it comes to the autofocus, this lens is very snappy, very quick, and I haven't had any trouble at all here with the zoo. Now, it's a really sunny day here, so a lot of the animals aren't moving too quickly, but we're going to find some birds and play around with that, and I can really see just how good this lens is when it comes to the autofocus. Now, the biggest thing people are going to talk about with this lens is the aperture. It's a 5.6 to f8, so that means at 100 you're 5.6, but it very quickly goes up to f8 as you zoom out. Now that means we're not getting a ton of light, and depending what our subject matter is, we need those shutter speeds, we need that light gathering capability, so we are going to be hit a little bit when it comes to working with it. Your ISOs are going to creep up certainly when you're using this. Now, modern day cameras are certainly better than they've ever been when it comes to the high ISO. Now, it does have a 9-bladed circular aperture, so the depth of field you're getting is actually really quite nice. Now, if you take a look at some of these examples here, you can see even from a distance we're able to get some pretty decent separation. Now, it's not going to compete with that 4.5 1-400 G Master lens, and it's not trying to, but the depth of field you can get when you manipulate your environment is certainly very acceptable. And of course, the closer you get to your subject matter, the shallower the depth of field becomes. And when it comes to minimum focusing distance, this lens goes down to 37 inches or 113 centimeters, so just a little over a meter. For 1-400, that is pretty impressive, and you are able to capture some pretty cool in-depth detail shots of plants, flowers, and things like that. It's been a long time since I've been on the suspension bridge here at the zoo. They've renovated it, and it looks fantastic. And this kind of showcases, you know, if I can't get to the spot I want to, I can't get to the location I want to, a 1-400 really allows me to zoom in on some details and capture some stuff I can't normally get to if I don't have access to it. There, a camel. Probably the ugliest animal here. Probably the only animal that's comfortable in this heat. Everything else has been sleeping. Now, shooting with a lens like this indoors in lower light is going to be a challenge. I mean, I'm already shooting at f8, which is pretty challenging indoors. I'm living at 10,000 ISO, even when I'm shooting sketchy shutter speeds like 80th of a second. So keep this in mind if you're shooting with this lens. Low light's always going to be a challenge. Now, something that's very cool about this new 1-400 from Sony is that it's a very economical lens, but it can take teleconverters, the 1.4 and the 2 times. So interesting to see just kind of what to expect out of this when we're putting 1.4 on here. Just gives it that extra reach as well. Now, you can also use this lens on a crop sensor body as well, so you can extend that 1-400 to a 600 mil just by switching to a crop sensor body, which I think may be where this lens is going to be headed for a lot of different people. Now, this lens does have 2 linear autofocus motors that push and pull the optics in and out to achieve really quick autofocus, and that's important. So even so, a more sort of budget-friendly lens like this one can keep up with a camera like the A1 II with 120 frames per second. I mean, having that kind of frame rate is amazing to have, but if your autofocus system can't keep up, then what's the point? Now what I find is that this lens has had no trouble capturing what I want to capture today, and that has not been an issue. It's been very snappy, very quick to focus. Now here at the zoo, we haven't had anything that's really moving too fast. I mean, it's 30 degrees today, everything's kind of sluggish, so I haven't been able to record anything, but I have had a chance to go out to a local bird sanctuary and capture some decent shots of birds in flight, and not once did I have any concerns about the camera and the lens being able to keep up with these birds in flight. Now the image quality is really quite good out of this lens. I was expecting a little bit less, but I got more, which is a very good thing. If you look at these comparison shots here, we did it against the Lion here. If you take a look at the Lion shot with this 1:400 at 400 mil, you can see what to expect as far as detail goes. Now we switched over to the 1:400 G Master lens, which is an exceptional lens, and you can see what to expect. And look at the depth of field, look at the focus, look how crisp and sharp it is. There's very little difference between these two lenses, certainly not what I think would be the price difference. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from that 4.5 G Master lens. It is an exceptional lens, and if you're a working professional, it's as good as it gets when it comes to a 400mm lens. Where this lens fits into the market has a really cool place, because it's not a very expensive lens in the scheme of things. It's certainly a lot less expensive than the other two 1:400 options from Sony, and even some third-party options as well. It's lighter, smaller, especially with the included hood that you can reverse for traveling with. This makes for a really nice small package, but the image quality it delivers is really quite good. Now you are going to find yourself looking at a little higher ISO than you'd like to, so keep that in mind. However, if you occasionally find need for a long lens, if you're into hiking, somewhat lightweight, this is a really good option from Sony. I mean, you can use it on a crop sensor body as well, give you that extra reach, but you can use it with a teleconverter as well if you want to pair it with a full frame body. Really kind of cool to be able to do that. I think Sony's got a winner on their hands here, because if you find yourself wanting to photograph your kids playing outdoor sports, or if you wanted to invest in something that's going to capture some wildlife at sort of the basic side of level, well, dumping in thousands of dollars, this is a lens that's really going to find its way into your market. Now, I want to know what you guys think of this lens. Does Sony have too many 1:400s, or is this an exceptional lens at a great price point that you can't wait to get your hands on? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram. It's been Dave from the Camera Store. We'll catch you again soon. Hey, thanks for sticking around and watching this episode on the brand new 1:400 5.6 to f8 lens from Sony. If you want to check out more detail and more content, click up here. And if you're Canadian, want to support local, check out thecamerastore.com down here.